Before getting started, everything discussed here is based on allegations, public commentary, and personal opinions. This is intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. Now, let's talk about Claressa Shields and Papoose because this story continues to generate headlines and online debate. At the moment, 50 Cent has yet to publicly fire back regarding the supposed feud. What's interesting is that many people feel Claressa wasn't originally part of this conflict. The dispute initially appeared to be between Papoose and 50 Cent, with Papoose responding first before Claressa became heavily involved. According to critics, Papoose insisted he could handle the situation himself, but Claressa eventually stepped into the conversation anyway. Rather than directly confronting 50 Cent in a serious way, Papoose's response mainly consisted of sharing AI-generated content while paying noticeable attention to his online image. Then, almost as quickly as he appeared, he seemed to disappear from social media altogether. That sudden silence left Claressa carrying the public battle alone. Since then, she's been the one continuing the back and forth while Papoose has largely remained out of sight. More recently, Claressa shared content alongside the Jasmine brand and revisited discussions surrounding old controversial tweets that have circulated online before. She also reposted supportive messages and comments from followers who have publicly defended her against criticism. However, many observers disagree with the argument that the backlash she's receiving is solely because she's a Black woman. From their perspective, the criticism isn't centered on her appearance either. Instead, they believe most complaints stem from her actions and public behavior. Several examples are frequently mentioned. Some people still reference her exchanges with Layla Ali, arguing that the conflict came across as unnecessary and disrespectful. Others point to the toy drive controversy, where accusations surfaced that children were left without promised gifts due to disagreements involving a parent. Then there's the ongoing drama involving Papoose and Remy Ma. Between indirect social media shots, relationship speculation, and constant public discussion, many viewers continue asking the same question: why has so much of Claressa's public image become tied to Papoose? Critics argue that for someone with such an impressive athletic resume, including championships and historic accomplishments, the conversation surrounding her often shifts back to her relationship instead of her achievements. Some also feel the situation has turned into an ongoing attempt to prove a point to Remy Ma. That perception grew stronger after claims surfaced, suggesting Papoose initially preferred to keep his relationship with Claressa private until details were allegedly exposed publicly. Once accusations emerged involving phone calls, living arrangements, and text messages, the entire narrative changed. According to those allegations, Claressa was interested in making the relationship more visible. Critics claim she wanted the public appearances, the red carpet moments, the award show visibility, and the celebrity couple spotlight. At the same time, some observers believe she wants significant control over how the story is told. They argue that when public reactions are positive, the attention is welcomed, but when criticism appears, she often pushes back strongly online. Another point frequently raised involves old photos from different stages of her career. Supporters see them as celebrations of her journey, while critics argue she sometimes views certain reposts as subtle attacks despite occasionally sharing similar images herself. As a result, the debate surrounding Claressa has become less about boxing and more about perception. Instead of focusing solely on her accomplishments inside the ring, social media continues to dissect her relationships, online responses, and public image. And that's exactly why this conversation refuses to fade away, because every new post, response, or rumor adds another chapter to an already complicated story. At this point, it's hard to ignore how well Claressa Shields understands the social media game. She has openly talked about staying viral for extended periods, which suggests she knows exactly how online attention works. Whether the conversation is positive or negative, visibility keeps people talking, and staying in the spotlight has become part of the equation. Now shifting over to the Papoose side of the drama, things took another unexpected turn. According to claims shared by blogger Tasha K., she posted what she described as exclusive information regarding Papoose's financial situation. In her Instagram post, she alleged that Papoose, whose legal name is reportedly Willie Mackey, has unresolved federal tax issues dating back more than a decade. Tasha claimed the amount exceeded $300,000 and stated that the information came from publicly available records filed in New York. She repeatedly emphasized that the allegations were based on documents she said were accessible through public filings. However, when viewers examined the screenshots that were shared, some noticed a discrepancy. The documents shown appeared to list a balance closer to $182,000 rather than the larger figure being discussed. That immediately led to questions about whether additional tax liens exist that weren't included in the screenshots or whether the total amount had been overstated. Regardless of the exact number, the allegations added another layer of controversy to an already messy situation. Some online commentators even began speculating that this could explain why Papoose seemingly stepped away from his public dispute involving 50 Cent. Their theory is that he may have decided it was smarter to stay quiet rather than continue a battle that could bring unwanted attention to other issues. Of course, that's only speculation, but it's a narrative that has gained traction among social media users. While Papoose has largely stayed out of sight, Claressa appears to have moved straight into another public feud, this time with her upcoming opponent, Franchon Dezurn. The tension between the two fighters quickly escalated online. Franchon kicked things off by suggesting that while she might not be able to overcome media narratives or whatever forces she believes are working behind the scenes, she fully believes she can defeat Claressa in the ring. She also spoke directly to her supporters, emphasizing her professionalism and insisting that she takes both her reputation and the sport seriously. Franchon made it clear that boxing isn't something she treats lightly. She stressed that she has never compromised her integrity as a fighter and encouraged fans to support the sport and witness what she believes will be a memorable showdown. Naturally, Claressa wasn't going to let those comments slide. She responded confidently, dismissing the challenge and essentially saying her opponent wasn't capable of beating her. While acknowledging that the back and forth created good promotion, she made it clear she wasn't backing down. That response only poured gasoline on the fire. Franchon fired back with even stronger words, telling Claressa exactly how she felt. Claressa answered with humor and sarcasm, refusing to be intimidated and making it clear she wasn't going silent for anyone. From there, the exchange spiraled into a full-fledged verbal battle. Franchon predicted that the fight would create a moment fans would never forget. Claressa brushed that off, claiming she had already moved past the comments and doubling down on her confidence heading into the matchup. The two continued trading shots online, with Franchon arguing that the real conversation would happen inside the ropes, not on social media. Claressa responded by insisting that regardless of physical differences, she remained the superior boxer and believed her skills would prove it once again. As the argument intensified, references to past experiences in amateur boxing and USA boxing politics began entering the discussion, adding even more tension to an already heated rivalry. What started as pre-fight promotion quickly transformed into a personal war of words, and now fans aren't just waiting for the fight theory, waiting to see who finally backs up all the talk when the bell rings. The war of words between Claressa Shields and Franchon Dezurn kept escalating, with neither fighter showing any interest in backing down. At one point, Franchon essentially told Claressa that the truth would eventually reveal itself. Claressa immediately fired back, sarcastically asking whether Franchon was now claiming she had been cheated during their amateur years. She brushed off the accusation and confidently predicted another victory. The exchange didn't stop there. Franchon later shared an old photo highlighting one of her amateur accomplishments, showing off a silver medal finish. Claressa quickly jumped into the conversation, pointing out that they competed during the same era and arguing that both athletes achieved success. However, she couldn't resist taking another jab, emphasizing that the medal was silver while proudly reminding everyone that she focuses on gold medal performances. As the back and forth continued, Claressa briefly suggested she wasn't interested in arguing, but moments later she was right back in the discussion, defending herself and dismissing comments directed her way. By then, the rivalry had clearly moved beyond simple fight promotion and into personal territory. While some fans see the online sparring as a standard part of selling a fight, others feel the constant exchanges have become excessive. Claressa is already one of the most talked about athletes on social media, and every statement she makes tends to generate strong reactions. Whether the feedback is positive or negative, people are paying attention to every move. Still, social media arguments can only go so far. Once fight night arrives, none of the tweets, comments, or insults will matter. The only thing that counts is what happens inside the ropes. That's why many fans are treating all the online drama as background noise until the two fighters finally meet in the ring. One topic that sparked additional discussion was Franchon's comments about past experiences and perceived favoritism. Some listeners interpreted her remarks as hinting that certain athletes may have received advantages throughout their careers. If that's what she intended to suggest, it's a serious implication because it raises questions about fairness and integrity in a sport built on competition and merit. Of course, that's a completely separate debate from the fight itself, but it certainly added another layer to the rivalry. The conversation then shifted back to Papoose and the financial allegations that have recently circulated online. Following claims that he may have unresolved tax obligations, some commentators began speculating about what that could mean for his current situation. If those allegations are accurate, critics argue it might explain why he appears heavily invested in opportunities connected to Claressa's growing success. Those same critics have pointed to previous accusations made by Remy Ma regarding finances during her relationship with Papoose. While those remain her personal claims, they continue to be referenced whenever discussions about money arise. As a result, some online observers have started asking whether Claressa's expanding career could now represent a major financial opportunity for Papoose. They've connected that theory to her ventures outside boxing, including music and other business opportunities, questioning whether those moves create additional benefits for people around her as well. Others have even suggested that Papoose's increasing presence in boxing circles could be tied to broader business interests connected to Claressa's brand and earning potential. The concern raised by critics is that while Claressa appears positioned for major career growth, the constant controversies surrounding relationships, social media disputes, and public drama may be distracting from her accomplishments rather than enhancing them. At the same time, some believe the entire situation could simply be a business strategy keeping people talking, generating headlines, and turning controversy into attention. Whether that's intentional or not remains open to debate. One thing is certain: between the fight buildup, the relationship rumors, the financial allegations, and the non-stop social media battles, this story has grown far beyond boxing. And until the questions are answered inside and outside the ring, people will continue trying to connect the dots for themselves.